Are Dak's INTs the biggest concern for Dallas heading into the playoffs?
I don't want to pin it with the Cowboys on the one player, so my answer to that question is no. Dallas has karma issues. McCarthy, Prescott, the defense.
Karma.
Always something with Dallas happens in the big game.
Black cat.
They have that. They got it.
What's their bad karma, though?
Well, I mean, Des Bryant has the catch in Green Bay.
Yeah,
they call it a not catch. They lose the game. Last year, they screw up the game against San Francisco because they don't know the rule. Last play of the game. That's a game they should have won. Game earlier against Green Bay at home, Rodgers makes an incredible throw. He's going left. He throws the ball right. Dudley catches the ball. The tight end catch, I think it was maybe it was Cook. Tight catches the ball right near the sideline, goes out of bounds, and Green Bay kicks the field goal. There is always something that happens to Dallas. Look at this year. The Jacksonville game, he throws a terrible interception. There's always something goes on with the Cowboys. So I don't want to pin it all on Prescott. He's part of it. But with Dallas, McCarthy, Jerry Jones, there's a reason why they've won one playoff game since Jimmy Johnson. I never trust them. So despite the fact look at him, he's smiling like a cat.
I'm disappointed in you because you talking about black cats smiling like a Cheshire cat right now. Like
I fed right into him.
You know what was the wildest though? He always talked about the black cat, and then remember the Giants game, the black cat actually came out. That was a little eerie.
Well, he went there at 3 o'clock in the morning.
So you say eerie, I say funny.
No.
Hilarious. Enjoyable.
See,
that's what I say.
I did a double take. Wait,
you guys are literally pointing to bad juju as a reason why the Cowboys are in trouble. Is that really what we're doing out there? Is that really what we're doing?
No,
sports works a lot like that.
I'm not.
It just seems. I'm disappointed in you.
I don't need bad juju.
I'm disappointed. What do you have?
It would be Dak. It would be Dak. It would be Dak Prescott and the interceptions. You see. When I say, this is the problem, Kimberly.
Oh, dear.
When I say what can go wrong will go wrong, I'm not playing. I mean it. Now, you doing the extraordinary job covering the NFL as you have done all of these years, spanning a decade, I might add.
Not that long. I'm not that old.
No, about a decade. The point is, tell me when I've been wrong. The fact of the matter is the Dallas Cowboys, I have been right every year. I will remind y'all, when the Cowboys were winning last year, they were winning, not losing, they were winning. I came right on this set, right in this chair, and I said they will not win a playoff game. What happened? They didn't win a playoff game. See, the point is that it's all about patience. And here's what's going on now with Dak Prescott. You see, the defense is real, particularly against the pass. Look at him.
Yeah, you see, you guys are not right. You see, are not right on this show.
This is beautiful. I told y'all I wouldn't let them. He got busted with the wrong woman. He was with someone other than this girl, and that dude right there.
Karma.
Look at that sister right there. You see that look on that sister's face? Look at it. It's beautiful. I mean, it's the greatest video ever. It's the greatest video.
You know what?
I love it. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something right now. This is what happens. That's right. How dumb can you be? Only a Dallas Cowboys fan will show up and consoling the woman that ain't his girl on camera. That's just an idiot right there. But you know what? This is what happens because only Cowboy fans do stuff like that. And let me tell you something right there. The storylines are nothing. Do you remember that time the dude got in trouble? He got arrested for stealing. Listen, hold on. Listen. The dude, there is no other story. I can't think of a funnier storyline in history, and I don't say his name. But the dude, the Dallas Cowboy, got arrested for stealing cologne and a pair of drawers.
Yes,
I mean, that is priceless. That's priceless. So you're saying only a cowboy would do something like this. So what I'm saying to you is this. Here's what we're looking at right now. We got a pass defense that's no joke. We got pass rushes that can get to the quarterback like a bunch of piranhas, okay? We got Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard capable of running the football. We see CeeDee Lamb elevating to being that number one receiver. T.Y. Hilton is supposed to be coming on board to provide some help, right? Michael Gallup, even though he hasn't had the greatest year, he's still capable, all right? You got Schultz as a reliable tight end piece. Your offensive line ain't in shambles the way people thought it was going to be, right? We look at all of these things. And in the midst of all of that, we see a quarterback in Dak Prescott telling the world, I really got to stop throwing these interceptions. You see, that's what I mean, Kimberly. That's what I mean when I say be patient. Relax, take your time. It's coming.
But does anybody really feel like the Cowboys are going to do damage this year? It felt like
they
at the beginning of the season they did, but it felt like expectations.
They won 6 of their last 7.
No, but I'm just
and the only
saying,
loss they have is an overtime loss to Jacksonville.
No one's come on the show since Doggy
because
made
of the
his bold
Eagles.
prediction.
Only because the Eagles are in first place, and they've been in first place, and they went the vast majority of the season undefeated. They won like their first 8 or 9 games, then they lost 1. Then obviously Jalen Hurts goes down. So you've been thinking about the Eagles. The 49ers acquired Christian McCaffrey to join Ayuk and Debo and Kittles and those boys. So you've been looking at those 2 teams, and that's why you haven't done that. But the Dallas Cowboys are incredibly formidable. They can knock off anybody. Yes. They can win it all.
Yes.
But they won't. And so the question is why?
But it's not, that's a great question.
Why?
But it's not just Dak.
Not just.
It's not
but
just
it will come
Dak.
down
and
to
it's
him.
not just bad juju either. They are a formidable opponent. The problem is we have not seen Dallas be consistent, especially of late. When you look at the Texans game, when you look at the Jaguars game, when you look at the Titans and not playing, it was like a JV team, and they still struggled. When it's Dak and the interceptions, but it's also the run defense. And you talk about the 49ers.
Which ranked 21st.
When you talk about the 49ers, that is a team that can bully you running the football, and they can bully you in a lot of places. And the fact that against the Packers ran for 207, Jaguars 192. Like there are issues pass defense. There are issues in the secondary. So when I look at the Cowboys as a whole, yes, Dak and his interceptions are problematic, especially because we hadn't seen this Dak before. We hadn't seen a Dak in years past that would be so sloppy and careless with the football. As much as all those interceptions aren't on him, there are too many in the short amount of time.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.